Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled People. Story 1. I don't know your name but HR sure does. This tale comes from my very first job as a gym receptionist. It was a pretty plum gig, especially since the company paid above minimum wage. I worked the morning shift, which meant I was in charge of unlocking the building, making coffee, and signing in members as they arrived. Mostly, members like to hit the gym before work, or join our semi-regular yoga class. In the pre-COVID times, a few people stopped to chat with me, but most just greeted me with a polite good morning and shared their name for sign-in. The member in this story, entitled Man M, had never been polite, but he usually just breezed past me and snapped out his name. Whatever, I'm still getting paid to deal with you. During 2020, we changed our policies for safety reasons. Now members were required to sign up, at no extra cost, for yoga classes at least 12 hours beforehand so that we could coordinate with our instructor. She worked freelance and was a mom, so if nobody signed up it really wasn't worth her time to come in so early and hope for walk-ins. And since we were doing contact tracing, I needed an accurate class list. Members could sign up online, or just call the front desk, as long as they signed up by the night before class was scheduled. We advertised and enforced the new rules heavily. If someone showed up without a sign-up, it was my job to tell them about the new policy and teach them how to sign up. For the most part, this wasn't a problem. 95% of my regulars understood that I was a cog in the machine, and that the machine was doing what it had to in order to stay open. Then one morning, M breezed into the gym, snapped his name, and tried to walk to the yoga room. But there was one problem: he wasn't on the list. The conversation went as follows. Me, excuse me, sir? M, what? Me, as part of our new COVID policies, we're asking all members to sign up ahead of time for M, cutting off my spiel, spoken with the rage of 1,000 suns. What? This is ridiculous. Starts pacing up and down the hall muttering to himself about talking to Eric about this. Stops pacing and starts drilling his finger into my desk, leaning over said desk. Do you know who I am? How much I pay for this place? Me, terrified, trying to de-escalate. I'll add you to the list today, but... M, cutting me off. Good. He walked to yoga class. I kept an ear out in case he decided to go off on the yoga teacher. Thankfully, he was cheerful with her. But I won't lie, it scared me how quickly he could go from rage to cheer. I decided to stay out of sight for the duration of the class, but once my awesome boss, got in for the day, I asked to see her. Was the kind of person who did not tolerate members bullying staff, so when I started crying in her office, she was ready to go to war. I told her everything that happened, and I asked if M was some sort of VIP, and if she knew who Eric was. Was he the owner of our parent company or something? Nope. Turns out, M paid our lowest tier membership fees. And there was nobody named Eric with any hiring or firing power at our company anymore. There had been years ago, but that guy retired. I thought Ab was just going to call M and read him the riot act, but instead she asked me if I wanted to file a report with HR. Heck yes, I wanted this on file. This man nearly took my head off just because he couldn't be bothered to sign up in advance. A few weeks later, I heard about the fallout. Turns out I wasn't the only staff member that M had tried to bully. He had quite the file with HR, apparently. So my general manager, Ab's boss, called M and told him the facts of life. Short version: don't upset the staff, as it won't end well for you. Sadly, while M towed the line with me from then on, he still tried to bully the girl who replaced me when I left for another job. I'm so glad I warned her about him, because she knew exactly what to do. Hello, HR? I need to file a report. Update: folks are asking why his previous reports didn't get M booted. For the record, I haven't kept up contact with fellow workers, so I'm not sure if he's actually still a member. Here's what I know for sure: I was the first person in my department, we had a gym, restaurant etc., to report him. I don't know if he was already banned from the other areas of the business or not, but I can say for sure that he was on very thin ice after the second report from the gym. His wife had to essentially babysit him every time he came to the gym, because he obviously couldn't be trusted to act like a grown-up. He was the main account holder, but his wife and child were freaking angels, the best regulars I could have asked for, friendly, cleaned up after themselves, even helped me refill paper towels and such, so their good reputation was the only thing that saved him. Knowing my ib, she would have been the one to insist on the chaperoning clause, because she did not like him, at all. Story 2. Happy birthday to me, I guess, the state of the sub. So some heavy news today. How can I lighten the mood? Music recommendations. It's almost 1 AM here and I'm desperately trying to get this out, so please excuse any formatting mistakes or half-formed thoughts. Recommended listening, World's Smallest Violin by AJR. I was going to give you a bit longer of a rundown of my life story here, but I'll give enough here to explain why it's just the cliff notes. The first thing I want to make clear is that I never asked nor expected to become the head mod of 3 subreddits with a combined total of 1.8 million subscribers, it just sort of happened one day as the moderators above me drifted away. I also originally had a more detailed breakdown of my medical story here, but it boils down to this. I've been nauseous every day for the last 2.5 years, culminating in not quite brain surgery 3 weeks ago. This leads up to Reddit making their third-party API changes clear the day before my birthday while I'm still suffering from splitting headaches from the aforementioned surgery. Fun. Recommended listening, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears or Pompeii by Bastille. I was planning on writing something here myself, but you should really just go and read. Had a call with Reddit to discuss pricing. Bad news for third-party apps, their announced pricing is close to Twitter's pricing, and Apollo would have to pay Reddit $20 million per year to keep running as is. By you/Iamthetis, the developer of Apollo. You should also read an open letter on the state of affairs regarding the API pricing and third-party apps and how that will impact moderators and communities. By you/Buck Rowdy. Recommended listening, Let It Go by Edina Menzel. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet and I'm too drained to be sure of myself right now anyways, but Reddit killing off you/Lj Dawson's sync would take a lot of my enthusiasm with it. There's rumbling of other moderators leaving the site or setting subs to private or protected. There's a lot to consider and it's almost 1 AM here. Recommended listening, Break My Stride by Matthew Wilder. I'll be publishing code on GitHub as Undarkado. I have a Discord library, a self-hosted wallpaper server, a rewrite of Minecraft Plus, and more. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom is a fantastic game that I've already sunk a ton of time into while I've been recovering from surgery. I've been slowing down on Destiny 2 and Hearthstone, but boy can they suck up time if you let them. Brandon Sanderson's Secret Project books have been fantastic so far. I need to finish the Alcatraz Smidry series, then figure out where to start with his Cosmera books. I'm probably due to revisit and fill in what I missed from Terry Pratchett's Discworld books. My favorite book of his is Night Watch. I completely forgot I'd bought the second book of Brandon Mull's Beyonders trilogy after r/Tipoff Matung helped me find it again. I'm looking forward to Season 2 of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds later this month. Because of You, Steven Sanchez. If You Could Read My Mind by Gordon Lightfoot. Labor, by Paris Paloma. I'll include other moderators' recommendations here as they respond to me. Story 3. EK finally gets what he deserves. So EK finally got what he always deserved. His entitlement came to a head when he slapped a girl because she disagreed with him. Now one of the kids who saw him wasn't okay with that. He vowed to beat him up someday. He finally got the chance, when EK was near the lockers. Suddenly, RK, Revenge Kid, slammed EK's head into a locker, tackled him to the ground, and started beating him. They both got suspended. I'm just glad that he got beat, as he slaps everyone who doesn't agree with him. Story 4. They literally said we are entitled to silence when living in a first-floor apartment. I live in a second-floor apartment with my 2 teenagers and 2 cats. An old couple, 75 plus, live below us. The apartments are poorly maintained and not very well insulated. We can hear their TV, can hear them talking, hear when she screams at him, when their 6-year-old spoiled brat grandson comes and throws tantrums, and whenever they open and close their door. Apparently they have been continually complaining to the landlord about us being very loud. They continually bang on their ceiling when we drop something, or close the bathroom door, which sticks, or heaven forbid I get up at night for any reason. She screamed up the heating vent at me one night when I knocked my water glass off my bedside table. They shout when we walk up the stairs. They have also complained that we use too much water when we shower. Which is 100% none of their business. Yes, my cats do run around a bit, but we keep them occupied and take them for walks, and they are pretty mellow as middle-aged cats tend to be. We do not listen to loud TV, the kids listen to music on their headphones, we don't jump or stomp or throw parties. It all came down to the other night around 10:30 p.m. when my son was up late making food and one of the cats decided it was playtime. Maybe ran around for 3 minutes while my son caught him. Bang 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 on the ceiling. Cat goes in my daughter's room and promptly goes to sleep. Old man comes running up the stairs and bangs on the door. I don't answer because I'm in bed and the cat is put away. Next thing you know they called the police with a noise complaint. A noise complaint for the cat and my son using the microwave. Police show up, house is dark, I'm in PJs, cats are asleep in the bedroom. They look at me and say you're in bed? Me, yes. Them, and what was happening? Me, my son was making food and the cat was running around them. Well, cats and teenagers do that. Is that why they called us? Me, yes. Cop then looks at his partner with a what the hell look on his face and says Jesus Christ, what a waste of time. Then asked me if I wanted to put in a complaint for harassment. Next day, old lady shouts across the parking spots we are entitled to silence whenever we want silence. You are obnoxious and rude and I am going to get you kicked out of here. Landlord calls and is pissed, says they have been continually complaining about how loud we are and it's ruining their quality of life and we needed to keep it down. So I told him what they were complaining about and that I am out in 60 days and if they call again I will make a complaint of harassment because this is stupid. His response, okay, no problem. Note that 95% of them complaining has to do with regular daytime living noise. Occasionally something after 10, but rarely. They are somehow entitled to silence at all times? In a shitty first-floor apartment? Ha 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 ha, right. I hope whoever moves in after I leave has small kids and plays loud pop music and does exercise videos in the living room. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.